Hey, welcome to my channel. You may call me Firedrake, and in this video I will be reviewing Freeform's new television series, Cruel Summer. Cruel Summer is a psychological mystery that follows the lives of two teenage girls during the summers of 1993, 1994, and 1995. The drama unfolds when one of the girls disappears and the other seemingly takes her place. This series involves a lot of time jumps between the years. These time jumps will often occur within one scene. For the purposes of this review, I will be breaking down my recap in the order in which the events occurred instead of by scene. The title of this episode is Happy Birthday, Jeanette Turner. The episode opens with a domestic violence trigger warning, so viewer discretion is advised. And this would be a good time for me to let you know that this review contains spoilers. So if you haven't seen this episode already, please go watch it on Freeform or Hulu and then meet me back here right after so we can discuss. At the beginning of the episode, we get a message that lets us know that the events that are about to unfold take place on approximately June 21st of 1993, 1994, and 1995. Alright, so let's get started with the recap of 1993. On June 21st in 1993, Jeanette Turner wakes up to breakfast in bed from her mom, dad, and brother, and they wish her a happy 15th birthday. After breakfast, Jeanette heads to the mall with her friends Mallory and Vincent. She and her friends agree to make a bucket list of wild things to do over the summer before school starts again. While at the mall, Jeanette sees Kate, one of the popular girls from school. She nervously starts a conversation with Kate. Their interaction is kind of awkward because of Jeanette's nervousness, but Jeanette seems a little excited when Kate says her name and seems to recognize her. She tells Kate it's her birthday, and Kate wishes her a happy birthday. Their conversation is interrupted when Jamie walks over to give Kate a kiss. Mallory and Vince give Jeanette a necklace for her birthday. Later that evening, Jeanette has dinner with her family. She has a heart-to-heart with her dad in the kitchen before bed. During their conversation, she refers to herself as nerdy and says she'll never be one of the pretty girls. Her dad tells her that she's not nerdy, and if being one of the popular kids is what she really wants, then she can just make another birthday wish. Then he adds a candle to the birthday cake, and Jeanette makes a wish and blows it out. On the next day, Jeanette, Mallory, and Vince plan to start working on the summer checklist that they've created. One of the things on their checklist is breaking into a house. Jeanette's dad, Greg, is a realtor. So the kids head to his office and Mallory goes and steals a set of keys while Jeanette and Vince distract him. They arrive at the property and find that the house has been sold, but they decide to go into the home anyway. Once inside of the home, they play hide and seek and Jeanette counts while her friends hide. While looking for her friends, Jeanette wanders down to the basement. When she returns upstairs, the new homeowner, Martin, is standing in the kitchen and he asks her what she's doing there. Jeanette makes up a story and distracts Martin while her friends sneak out of the house. Martin tells Jeanette he'll be the new assistant principal at her school and she can call him Mr. Harris. Jeanette leaves with her friends and she's excited about getting away with the first thing on their new summer checklist. When she gets home, she places the key that she used to get into Martin's house inside of her jewelry box. When we get to Jeanette's birthday on June 21st in 1994, Jeanette's boyfriend wakes her up with a cupcake in bed, breaking their family tradition of breakfast in bed. Her boyfriend is Jamie, the same guy who was making out with Kate in the mall the year before. He tells her that he has a whole day of roller skating planned with her and their crew for her birthday. He also tells her he loves her before leaving and she seems really excited. Later that evening, Jeanette is at the roller rink with her boyfriend and her crew, which does not include Mallory and Vincent. Instead, she's hanging out with the two girls who were at the mall with Kate the year prior. We find out Kate is missing when Jamie's friend Ben asks him if he thinks Kate may have run away. Jeanette's evening ends with Jamie walking her to her doorstep. While they're outside, they hear a loud noise that seems to startle Jeanette. Vince, who happens to live across the street from Jeanette, runs outside and asks them if they heard the noise. He tells them it was a gunshot. Jamie brushes Vince off, and Jeanette seems to follow his lead. On the next day, Jeanette is at the mall with her new friends, and one of them asks, "Can you believe Kate has been missing almost a year?" Jeanette doesn't seem to really have much of a reaction, and she tells them that she never really knew Kate. Mallory and Vince are also at the mall, and they notice Jeanette shopping. and Jeanette tries to hide, but Mallory spots her and walks over to confront her. Mallory tells Jeanette that she's changed and basically left her and Vince behind over the past year. Vince doesn't say much and seems to be caught in the middle. Jeanette tells Mallory that they both basically grew apart and gives Mallory a hug. Mallory tells Jeanette that she even sounds like Kate before storming off. Later in the day, Jeanette and her new friends find out that Kate has been found. Jeanette assumes Kate is dead and asks where her body was found, but then her friend tells her Kate is still alive. They rush over to Jamie's house to tell him the news, but Ben meets them outside and tells them they should leave. Then Jamie runs outside and out of nowhere he just punches Jeanette right in her face. When Jeanette gets back home, she lies to her family about the black eye she has. And that sums up 1994. On June 21st, 1995, Jeanette is awakened by her dad. He tells her that her lawyer is there to talk to her. Although they both seem annoyed by each other, he says happy birthday before leaving the room. The lawyer tells Jeanette that they're dealing with a tricky case and they'll need her cooperation to win. She explains that they'll need to work together as a team along with her dad and her other lawyers. After the lawyer leaves, Jeanette sits at home in the dark watching news footage from Kate's disappearance. While Jeanette is inside watching TV, Jamie is sitting in his car parked outside holding a photo of him and her. When he reaches over and places the photo in the glove box, we can see that he has a gun in the car. Vince calls Jeanette and tells her Jamie is sitting outside her house again and asks if he should call the police. She tells him not to. Vince doesn't call the police, but he does take a photo of Jamie's car parked outside. Jeanette's dad is at a bar having a conversation with a bartender who he's been dating for 4 months. Later that evening, Jeanette is still at home watching old news footage when Greg's girlfriend walks in and asks if she's okay. Jeanette tells her she doesn't need advice from a bartender who is screwing her dad. Angela tells Jeanette that she really likes her dad and she's there if she ever needs to talk to her. But she also tells Jeanette to never disrespect her like that again because she's not the enemy. Jeanette apologizes. On what seems like the next day, we see a clip of Vince walking through the neighborhood and Martin's house is now boarded up and vacant. Jeanette continues watching news footage, and when she plays a tape from 1994, we see Mallory talking to reporters and telling reporters that Jeanette was once her best friend, but she became a conniving person overnight. We cut to a scene of Jeanette sitting in a parked van eating when a group of kids walk by and one of them calls her a psycho. So Jeanette throws her shake at them. Then we cut to another scene, which appears to be later in the week because Jeanette is wearing a different outfit and Jeanette is sitting in a lawyer's office. Jeanette asks the lawyer if this is about the stupid necklace, and the lawyer tells her that they're looking into the necklace, but they need to discuss her likability. They want the jury to feel sympathy for her, and they need her to be more likable. Jeanette tells them how she's become the most hated person in the nation. She begins to cry as she tells them that she has no one. She ends the conversation telling them that she'll try harder to be the way they want her to be. We get another clip of Jeanette watching a recorded news interview with Kate from 1994, which was filmed about 3 months after she was rescued. In the interview, Kate says that she thought the person who found her would have sent help, but instead she took over her life. Then she tells the reporter that the girl who found her was Jeanette Turner, and that's where the episode ends. My thoughts on this show so far. So far, I think it is a very interesting show. I'm looking forward to finding out how this mystery will unfold. I really enjoy the diversity of the cast. I think it's pretty cool that we see people from all walks of life with different personalities. I think the plot is pretty cool because right now I'm kind of lost as to what happened. I'm really interested in seeing how much things change over the course of 12 months. Jeanette from 1993 is completely different from 1994, and even 1994 is completely different from 1995 Jeanette. So I'm anxious to see what happened to make her drastically change like this over the course of just 3 years. So I think it has a great storyline. What I don't really like about the show is how quickly we cut between time periods within one scene. I'm used to watching shows with time jumps. I really enjoy them actually. A few shows that do it well are Dark, which is on Netflix, Westworld, which is on HBO, and then we have This Is Us, and that one's on NBC. Those shows all do time jumps and flashbacks, and they do them pretty well. They pace the episodes so that you have time to digest the scene before you get a flashback or before you jump to another time period. In this show, it was a little more confusing for me to keep up with what was going on because we'll get multiple time jumps within one scene. For example, there was a scene where we saw the kids approach Martin's house as they were contemplating going in and checking off, breaking into a home off of their checklist. Then we quickly cut to a flash of the house being vacant in 1995. So we went from 1993 to 1995 just to jump into 1994 in a completely different scene that has nothing to do with the house. So some of the time jumps, I don't fully understand why they're there. And then some of them seem to be out of order also, because we'll have Jeanette wearing one outfit in one scene in 1995, and then when we flash back to 95, it seems to be a completely different day. She's wearing something else. She's outside of the house. Then we flash back later in the episode to 95, and she's back on the couch wearing the same thing from the first scene. So it was very confusing for me to watch, in all honesty, and keep up with what was going on in each time period. I don't know if this was done in an attempt to make the show more mysterious, but it came off a bit confusing for me upon first watch. So hopefully, as I continue to watch, it'll be less confusing and I'll be able to put the scenes together a little better as I continue watching. At this point, I don't know which characters we should trust and which ones we shouldn't. I have no theory at this time. I can tell you who I like so far. I think Vince is the coolest character on this show. I like the fact that he took the photo of Jamie when he was sitting parked outside of his friend's house. That let me know that he's a loyal friend. And this is in 95 when him and Jeanette are not even close. So I really dig Vince. Even in 1994, when Mallory went to confront Jeanette, Vince kind of stayed out of it, even though he felt stuck in the middle. So I think Vince is pretty cool so far. I also like Angela because I like the way she told Jeanette she's there for her. In 1995, Jeanette seems to be very lonely and depressed. And so for Angela to let her know that she's there for her if she needs someone to talk to, I think that's pretty cool because I didn't see Jeanette's mom or brother in 1995. I don't think so. It seems like she does need someone there. I mean, Vince is there, but it doesn't seem like their relationship is the same. So I hope she does talk to someone eventually because it seems like she's having a really rough time in 95. The only character that I do not like so far is Jamie. It's one thing to raise your voice at someone because you're angry or get up in their face, maybe even point your finger in their face, but he just punched her in the face out of nowhere. He didn't ask her any questions. He didn't hear what she came to say. He just hit her, and that's never okay. So I do not like Jamie. I don't think I will like him at all for the rest of this series, honestly. And that's okay. It's part of the show. I'm sure they want us to dislike this character for a reason, so we're just gonna see how it plays out. But if they want Jamie to be the villain, they're doing a great job. Kate, to me, doesn't seem all that bad so far. In all honesty, I don't understand why Mallory doesn't like her. Mallory seems to really dislike Kate. And so far, all I've seen is kindness from Kate. I mean, she recognizes Jeanette in the mall. She doesn't brush her off or act like a stuck-up popular kid. She says hi to her. She tells her happy birthday when she finds out it's her birthday. So I don't think Kate is all that bad. So right now I'm a little confused about how all of this ties together. But again, I'll be here to review it. I know that I am late with the reviews, but hopefully I'll get all caught up before the next episode comes out. Although I am late, I do appreciate you clicking on and watching with me. If you enjoyed this review, let me know. Please go into the comments. Let's have a conversation. Let me know if you have any theories about the show so far and who your favorite characters are. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.